Yeah, morning all. So myself and Vijay,
Good morning, sir.
yeah, yeah. I hold like 18 plus years of experience, which includes nearly 8 plus years of experience in Python environment. So my experience includes design, development, and implementation of Python and Django based applications. Well versed in implementing different Python libraries like NumPy, CP, Pandas, PyTables, Matplotlib, right? Yes. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear, whether the screen is visible or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Skin is
Vijay. Sure.
visible, but skin is pause.
Yeah. So as part of today's demo, I'll be covering the following topics. So if you have got any general queries, I'll be giving time for you at the end of the session, right? Yes. So starting with why Python. Python is not a kind of technology which is very recently introduced. It was introduced in the year 1989. Why all of a sudden Python has got great boom? Reasons which makes it suddenly super popular. What are the reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular? And who can learn Python? Who can learn Python? What are the prerequisites for learning Python? There are no prerequisites for learning Python. Anyone can update with Python. The syntaxes of Python, the statements of Python looks like normal English statements. They're not as complex as other programming language. They look like simple English statements. So I'll just brief you by taking some examples. I'll take some task and I'll try to implement the task in multiple programming languages and I'll show you right how simple the Python statements coding wise, length wise, complexity wise, like how will they look. Not even one-fourth coding as compared with other programming languages. And how Python was built by taking the features and advantages from different other programming languages. Python real-time applications. What kind of applications are we developing today by using Python? Python mostly used for developing what kind of applications? Python usage. Who are using Python today? Who are using Python today? Python features. Python features, right? Yes. Python comparison with other programming, coding wise, length wise, you can check how Python state and reasons why it is suddenly super popular. And Python scope and job market. What is the current job market of Python? What is the scope of Python in the coming years, right? Yes, this is what I'll be discussing in today's and tomorrow's session, right? Yes. Starting with why Python. It is a general purpose programming. Python is a general purpose programming. Multi-programming feature. It is multi-programming language, high-level language, interpreted language, user-friendly programming language. I'll just brief you one by one. Right. What do you mean by general purpose? Before Python, we have got some programming languages. Before Python, we have some programming languages like Pascal, we have got Fortran, we have got COBOL, right? These languages are purpose-based languages. This Pascal, Fortran, COBOL, all these programming languages are purpose-based languages. They are used for a specific purpose. Pascal for complicated mathematical applications, Fortran for scientific applications, COBOL for business applications. These are used for a specific purpose, not for all the purposes, but a language which is suitable for developing any kind of application, but a language which is suitable for developing any kind of application. Such a language, we call it as general purpose programming language. Calls it general purpose programming. So Python is such a kind, right? Where we can develop any kind of application, where we can develop any kind of applications. like automation applications, web applications, animation applications, gaming applications, embedded applications, desktop applications, networking applications. In this wide varieties of applications we can develop today by using Python. So it's a general purpose programming. It is not like purpose based. It's not for a particular purpose. Mm. So multi-programming features. Python has got multi-programming features, right? What all the features we see in different other programming languages, all those features we see in Python. Because of this multi-programming features, we call Python as a hybrid language. Python is a high-level language. So there are two types of languages. Two types of languages. Low-level languages. Low-level languages. And secondly, high-level languages. Low-level languages and high-level languages. Low-level languages like assembly level. Low-level languages like assembly level languages or machine level languages. Okay. These low-level languages or assembly level, firstly, they are not human understandable. They are not human understandable. Secondly, they are not portable. They cannot be carried from one system to another system, right? Not portable. And thirdly, they cannot run on all the hardwares in all the operating system. Machine dependent. They are machine dependent. Means they cannot run on all the hardwares in all the operating systems. See, low-level languages are assembly level languages. They are not human understandable. They are not portable and machine dependent.
Vijay sir,
Ye-
hello.
Yes.
Sir, please increase the font size because this is so small.
One,
Text font
one
size.
second. Is this fine?
Yeah.
Fine. Okay. They're not human understandable. They are not portable and machine dependent. High-level languages, right? Like Python. High-level languages like Python, they are human understandable. They are portable and machine independent. They can run on all the hardwares in all the operating system. So Python statements look like normal English statements. They are human understandable. They are portable, like they can be carried. They can run on any system, machine independent, and any hardware or any operating system that can run. So yes, Python is a high level language. User-friendly programming language. Python is a user-friendly programming which provides simple syntaxes like which looks like normal English statements. User-friendly programming or programmer-friendly programming language. So Python is a general purpose. Any kind of applications we can develop. Multi-programming features we have got. High-level language, easily understandable, portable, and machine independent. Interpreted language. Python is a interpreted means line by line execution we are going to see. In Python is an interpreted language, line by line execution, which makes debugging easy. If you observe, We have got the compilation languages and interpretation languages. Compilation and interpretation. Compilation example like C language. Interpretation example like Python. So if you see this compilation languages, if you got some 10 lines of code, the entire code executes at once. The entire code executes at once and displays the errors if any. But Python, it won't execute the entire code at once. Line by line execution. Line by line execution, which makes debugging easy. If we get error in this line, it won't execute the remaining code. In Python, if you got error in this line, it won't execute the remaining statements. Abnormal termination, right? Yes. Okay. Okay. So Python has taken features from which programming languages? Python has taken the features from which programming languages, right? Yes. Python has got Python has got procedural oriented programming features, procedural oriented programming features, procedural oriented programming features. Example like C language. Yes. It has got features of object oriented programming, right? It has got the features of object oriented programming, right? Example like C++ and Java, right? It has got the features of scripting. Scripting features. Python has got the scripting features. Example like shell script, Linux shell script, right? And Python has got the procedural-oriented programming, object-oriented programming, scripting, and modular programming features. Modular programming features like example like modular 3. Okay. So as part of our course, we are going to discuss like procedural-oriented programming with Python, object-oriented programming with Python, scripting and modular programming with Python. So all this I'm going to discuss as part of our course. So just like C language, like C++ and Java, like shell script and modular 3, we can develop different varieties of applications. So because of this multi-programming features, we call Python as a hybrid language. So if you talk about this Java programming, Java, right? The Java programmers or developers are strictly restricted to use only object-oriented programming. Without object-oriented programming, they cannot write a single application or a program without a class and object. But in Python, right? With object-oriented, without object-oriented, with procedural-oriented, with modular programming, we can develop different varieties of applications. If we talk about this, we go back like 2010. So Java is the mostly preferred language, the mostly used programming, like nearly 43% usage in the industry. But in the year 2010, nobody knows that there was a programming language like Python, only 3% used. 10 years after, from 2020 onwards, right? The usage of Python has increased. Yes, the usage of Java. I'll just show you some graphs at the end of this session. I'll just open Google and I'll show you some graphs. The mostly used programming language today. The most popular programming language today. Right. the number one ranked programming language. So Python, okay, 31%. It has increased to 31%. It was 3%, it increased to 31%. Okay, fine. And Python has got great boom. Okay, and we'll be writing many automation scripts using Python, using automation scripts using Python, right? In uh, in DevOps and AWS, in IoT, in robotics, right? Modular programming, thousands of modules Python is providing. 89,300, 89,300 inbuilt modules Python is providing for different environments, right? 89,300 modules Python is providing for different environment. So whatever environment or domain you are from, Python is providing a module. Python is providing a module, right? Yes. Whether you are from networking or testing or data science or big data, Python is providing a module. For example,
Sir, can I use for Python in AI?
yes, in data science, in AI, in deep learning, machine learning, all this, right? So data for this, Python is providing separate modules for plottings, visualizations, for data analysis, for all this, right? 10 to 15 modules Python is providing, right? Like NumPy, Matplotlib, Pandas, CP, Scikit-learn, right? For this separate modules Python is providing for this data science, that is machine learning, deep learning, and for AI, right? Separate modules. So it has got inbuilt functions. Directly we can make use of those functions. Apart from this data science, even Python mostly used in other environments like big data, right? Especially for this PySpark, separate models Python is providing, right? Yes. And apart from this data science, big data, it is also used in networking environment, networking, right? Yes. For networking, separate models Python is providing, right? Yes. And apart from this, for testing or for test cases, and for operating system, OS, for operating system kinds of activities, right? The name of the module itself is OS. And for each and every database, right, Python is providing a module. Using that module only, we can connect with the Python can connect with the database. For Python to connect with Oracle database, CX underscore Oracle is the module. For any database like MySQL, PyMySQL, right? For MySQL, PyMySQL is the module name. And for SQL Server, right? Yes, PyODBC is the module. So it just by using that module and by using that connecting details, we can easily connect with the any database. Just 1 minute discussion is enough, right, to connect with the database. Not like other programming, like we need to have a lot of knowledge before you go with it. And for any types of files like Excel files, I can create Excel file just by writing 3-4 lines of Python code and executing the Python code. You can check Excel file, Excel workbook is going to get created at whatever location with whatever name we have specified, right? Later we can insert multiple sheets into it. We can read data from one sheet. We can write data into another sheet. And not only like CSV files, comma separated values files, PDF files, writing Python code to create PDF files, JSON files, JavaScript object notations, any kind of file formats. And for mathematical operations, we have got math module. And for statistical operations, and for generating graphs, Python is the only language which can generate graphs by writing code. Any type of graph, like normal graph, bar graph, histogram, scatter plots, stack plots, right? Yes. but we have got inbuilt functionalities, right? So in this way, thousands of models Python has got for this. So what kind of applications are we developing today by using Python? Python real-time applications. Python mostly used for developing what kind of applications? So mostly used in developing web applications. Lot of
Sir,
web,
can
yes,
I use Python in SAP?
SAP,
SAP, SAP system? Can I use your application of SAP system in?
oh no,
No.
web applications. So I'm just going to show you that where mostly Python is preferred, right? Web
Okay, sir.
applications. Okay. Web applications, right? Web applications. Python mostly used in creation of web applications. So you may ask, you may get a quick, right? The last, from the last 20, 25 years, from the last 20, 25 years, we have got Java, .NET are mostly used in creation of web applications. Mostly used in creation of web applications. Then why Python required means Python has got framework like Django framework. Python has got a framework like Django framework. At a rapid speed, you can develop a web application. At a rapid speed, you can develop a web application using this Django framework. It's one of the framework of Python, right? And it has
Just a
Django.
question.
Yes.
In this module, Django also would be covered, or
So full stack Python, right? Python
yes, yes, yes.
people who go for full stack Python, I'll also discuss Django.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
So what about this class is for only Python or full stack development?
Python full stack.
This is in full stack development class, right?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So Python will be common to both. Python will be common to, so people who are choosing Python, people who are choosing full stack, Python will be common, right? Python, whatever we'll be discussing. Later, people who go for full stack, that additional content will be discussed. Okay. So yes, Django, right? Django framework, it has got its own database, it's SQLite. It has got its own database like SQLite 3. It has got its own application server. It has got many flexible features. So at a rapid speed, we can develop web applications. Like 50% of the code is already generates the code required for your project. That's why at a rapid speed, you can develop web applications using this Python Django. Apart from this, what? Python mostly used in creation of automation applications. Okay. Automation applications using technologies like data science. Yes. Using technologies like that. Data science using technologies like that. So using technologies like IoT, using technologies like robotics. Yes. Automation applications like data science, IoT, robotics. IoT, right? Internet of Things. Internet of Things, right? It is a physical network or device embedded with software, sensors, electronics used for collecting data, exchanging data, and controlling the things from the place where we are, right? It is just like electronic devices connecting and communicating with each other, right? So here, uh, the coding we use like Python, right? We write using Python scripts. Even for data science, right? Everything deals with the data. Data has got experience. Data has got future reference. Using data or data science, we perform data analysis, data predictions, data classifications, data clustering, data recommendations. So it's a blend of technique. Data science is a blend of technique. The main technique what we see here is ML, machine learning, right? Machine learning. So here, machine learning, we have got many techniques used like regression, classification, clustering, recommendation, pattern matching, right? For all these techniques to implement, we require a language. For all
Sir,
the techniques to implement, we require a
sir,
language.
can we use Python for data migration also?
Yes. So yes, machine learning. So we require a language. So Python is the mostly chosen or mostly used to programming for this machine learning, deep learning, data science, right? AI for all this. Where Python has got modules for plottings, visualizations, for data analysis, right? Even for robotics, for DevOps environment, right? Even in DevOps environment, Python is one of the best scripting language with vast varieties of libraries, right? And apart from this, Python mostly used in big data environment, right? Big data, where you see like huge data, where it involves huge volumes of data, right? So you should have seen, just I'll take a minute in explaining where exactly Python used. You should have seen KBs of data, MBs of data, or GBs. Yes, GBs of data, terabytes, petabytes, exabytes, zettabytes, petabytes, sotabytes, so on, right? So from TB onwards, we say like huge data. So 1 petabyte equal to 1024 TB. Yes, today in the current real world, petabytes of data is getting generated. Right? Petabytes of data is getting generated, right? So example like social media like Facebook, like it has got millions and trillions of users. In a minute, how many posts and videos are getting circulated? Each and everything has to be stored, right? What should be the storage capacity to store all those? Not only like Facebook, right? Like even if you talk about the Twitter tweets, Google queries, YouTube videos upload, what should be the storage capacity to store all the YouTube videos, email or Gmail messages, to store millions and trillions of users messaging, right? Messages to be stored by huge data. Even like e-commerce, like Flipkart or Amazon, right? Where we see like huge data is getting generated for bank transactions. So for all this huge data is getting generated in petabytes. So we have got some big data technologies like Hadoop, Spark, PySpark, Hadoop, especially like Spark. We have got Spark implemented using Python, like we call like PySpark, like which is a very high speed processing technology which can process huge data in quick time, which uses Python for implementation, right? Apart from this, Python used for scientific applications. Scientific applications. We have got separate module for this, like CP, right? Yes. Apart from this, we have got for numerical analysis. For numerical analysis, right? Yes. We have got NumPy, numerical Python. Apart from this, for graphical user interface or for animation applications, we have got separate modules Python providing like PyQt, tkinter, or some modules. Apart from this, Python is used for game development. Lot of games are getting developed today by using Python, single user, multi-user online games. Especially for developing games, Python providing framework like Pygame. The framework given by Python for developing games, PyCara. One more framework given by Python for developing games, PySoy, 3D rendering libraries. It's a 3D rendering library used for 3D games, right? Apart from this, Python is used for scheduling tasks. Scheduling tasks, we have got Airflow, Python is providing for it. For testing or test cases. Yes, apart from that, for software development, Python is used for software development. Even software developers make use of Python as the support language. For business application, Python is one of the best choice for developing e-commerce websites. And one of the hottest application of Python, like database application. Without a database, there is no web application, right? So Python can connect with any database like Oracle, MySQL, DB2, SQL Server, right? And for networking applications, right? For audio and video chartings, and for especially for networking applications, Python is providing a separate framework like Twisted Python for web scraping data from different websites, harvesting data from different websites, extracting data from different websites like Amazon, Flipkart. You have got separate modules Python providing, right? URL BS4 modules for embedded applications. One of the famous embedded applications like Raspberry Pi, right? Yes, which uses Python for its computation. Yes, apart and Python are also used for audio and video applications. Right? Some of the already some applications which got developed like C Play. Yes, apart from this, Python also used for computer vision, like color detection, face detections, and for object detections, right? Python is preferred. And for CAD and 3D CAD applications, computer-aided designings, right? And apart from this, Python used for desktop applications, single user console applications. In this way, Python used in different types of applications creations. It's not like purpose based. It's not for a particular purpose. Any kind of applications we can develop using Python. And apart and yes,
Sir, where I can use Scala, sir?
Scala is used for only Spark. We have got like big data technology called Spark.
Okay.
So the Spark technology uses the Scala. Scala is the native language of Spark. Spark
Yes,
and Scala we say, right? Where Spark implementation using Scala language.
yeah.
It is the extensible language, scalable language, extensible language, like extension language. It uses most of the features will be similar to Java.
Yeah.
Okay. It uses Java. It uses like Java compiler only, right? Yes.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Who are using Python today? Who are using Python today? Top, okay. The companies using Python and topmost applications built using Python. Right? Like Google. Google is one of the best examples for Python web application. Right. Google using Python for its web search systems. YouTube using Python for its video sharing service. Yahoo using Python. Uber. Uber pricing algorithm implemented using Python. Instagram built using Python. The prime reason for Instagram for choosing Python is because of this Python practicality and its hybrid features. Even NASA using Python for its research and development activities. And some other applications like Quora, Reddit, Pinterest, Dropbox, all this using Python, right? Yes. And the topmost OTT platform, Netflix, using Python for its security, automation, subscription related things, right? MMOG, massively multiplayer online games. Yes, using Python. And Maya, a powerful 3D animation which uses Python script. Yes. iRobot for military and commercial applications. BitTorrent using Python for its file sharing service. And for hardware testing purpose. For hardware testing, right? Yes. Companies like IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all these they use Python for hardware testing purpose. Okay. So these are those some of those applications built using Python. Those who are using Python. Okay. Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Yes. What are the reasons? Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular. First thing is very less coding. Very less coding. Simple syntaxes. Very less coding. Simple syntaxes. So very less coding, not even 1/4 coding as compared with other programming languages. Most of the programmers or developers are attracted towards Python. They are migrating towards Python because of its very less coding. Simple syntaxes looks like normal English statements. And interactive mode given by Python. One more important thing, like interactive mode. We can easily interact with Python statement by statement. For every statement, it gives response. Right? For example, you go to this command prompt by typing cmd, right? If I type Python here, it is already installed. If I say enter, the Python version will be displayed and the Python interpreter like 3 arrow symbol you can see, right? Where you can type any valid Python statements and interact with it. Just say 3 plus 4, 5 into 7, 23 into 46. X is 10, Y is 4. Say what is X, what is Y. No need to define the data type also. What is X plus Y? X minus Y, X into Y, X by Y, X into 2, X to the power of 2, X 10 square, 100. X equal to HEL, it's a string. X into 3 prints hello for 3 times. X into 5. Any valid Python statements you can type in this way and you can check it how simple the end with coming out of this, right? So interactive mode, we can easily interact with Python. This kind of interaction is not allowed in other programming languages. And multi-programming features. Multi-programming features. Hybrid features, right? And wide varieties of applications we can create. Wide varieties of applications. Wide varieties of applications we can create, right? Many built-in libraries, many built-in many built-in libraries. Right. Wide varieties of applications and many built-in libraries, many built-in modules. 89,300 inbuilt modules Python is providing for different environments, right? So these are the reasons which makes Python super popular, right? So just I'll open Google and show you the popular coding language, right? Popular coding language. So what we see like JavaScript, HTML, Python, SQL. This is what total full stack. All this will be Python, HTML, JavaScript, SQL, which will be covered as part of full stack course. Just check this other results, right? So the most popular programming languages. The most popular programming languages. Python stands first. Yeah, just I'm going to discuss the course content after this. Yeah. Python is the #1 ranked programming. Next comes Java, other things. Python remains most popular programming language. Python remains the most popular programming language. Python, next comes Java, JavaScript. Most popular programming languages used by top 25 unicorn. Python stands first. Next, Java, JavaScript, C or C++. Most popular programming languages, Python. Next, JavaScript, Java, right. Most in demand language of 2021-22, Python, Java, JavaScript. Yes. Number of top 39, see this, top 39 computer science, US computer science departments that use each language to teach introductory courses. Python, like next, Java. Rankings, talk about these rankings, right? Check this rank. This is the rank, this is the language, right? Python is the #1 ranked. Next, Java. Next comes C or other things, right? Yes. And if you see the most in demand programming language of 2022, Python, Java, JavaScript. And if you see the usage of Python, see the usage of Python, 30% Java, next C++, Ruby. Python, you can see the big circle, 1 second. Observe this. The big circle, right? 31. Python is mostly used 31%, Java 19%, C++, Ruby, JavaScript, and all these programming languages. Right? And if you see the jobs for Python, just check for Python jobs. 19,275 Python job vacancies in Hyderabad. 1,32,915 Python openings. 1,32,915 Python openings in Naukri. Apart from this Python jobs, you can also check for Django jobs. If you want Django jobs, right? Framework, Python framework, like Django jobs. 18,740 Django job vacancies. So thousands of jobs for Python in January 2024. Right? So people you might be knowing Python, but people who knows Django are very less. People who knows Django and people who has command in Django are very less, right? So even you can check for Django jobs. And what is the course content I'm going to discuss as part of this course, right? Right. As part of this course, I'll be covering these following topics. Yes. Python basics. What is Python? Why Python? History of Python, applications, features, advantages, versions of Python, installation, flavors of Python, comparison with other programmings, Python operations, modes of executions, batch mode, editors, IDEs. In real time, we use different IDEs. I'm going to show you on different IDEs how to run the Python code and executing it. Python data types, constants, variables, comments, input output statements, type conversions, comments, escape sequences, strings, and access. Operators in Python, different IDEs like PyCharm, Spider, Jupyter, Anaconda prompt, Navigator, Anaconda distributions, flow control statements, looping statements, strings in Python, string indexing, string slicing, string functions, string methods, string special characters, collections in Python, list, tuple, sets, dictionaries, right? And Python list operations, list creations, list indexing, list functions, list methods, tuple operations, tuple functions, methods, Python sets, Python dictionaries, functions in Python, different categories of functions, properties of functions, arguments like default, non-default, keyword, non-keyword, arbitrary arguments, lambda function, filter function, map function, reduce function, zip function, right? Modules in Python. What is a module? Different types of module. Normal import, from import, as package in Python. Defining packages, importing from packages, normal import, from import, different ways of importing, reloading, right? Errors and exceptions, file handling in Python, object-oriented programming concepts like class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, abstractions, destructors, constructors, types of inheritance, yes, overriding ones, regular expressions with Python, right? How to extract required data from the given data, and database access, database connectivity, I'll show you the installation of one database, and also working with different SQL operations by writing Python statements only, right? How to work with these SQL statements. Python data and time module, OS module, advanced concepts like iterators, generators, closers, decorators, graphical programming, TK Inter, Excel workbook, working with Excel files, creating Excel files, data analytics, like introduction to data science, Python pandas model in brief, Python pandas, Python numpy model in brief, and Python matplotlib model in brief. So these 30 topics will be discussed in brief as part of Python core and advanced, right? Yes. So here I'll be covering like object-oriented programming, functional programming, that is, and modular programming and scripting, right? So here I'll be discussing different models related to different domains. Some models related to databases, some related to data science, some related to big data, some related to graphics,
Sir,
and some related
what
to
is the course duration of
let me
whole
let
whole
me
course
come
duration?
let me complete this. I'll come back to your queries.
Okay,
So
sir.
so I'm covering different models related to different domains, right? Like data science, like big data, like operating system, like database, like data and time, like graphic modules, and also how to create our own modules using Python. This is only for Python core and advanced, and people who chooses for Python full stack, apart from this Python, they'll be given knowledge on this Django, right? What is Django? Why Django? History, features, characteristics, differences, web frameworks, Django installations, Django project architectures, different types of .py files, there and Django applications creations, project creations, Django views, Django templates, Django admin, Django models for creating databases, advanced concepts like Django ORM, Faker modules, right? Apart from this, you'll also be given knowledge on this. People who go for Python full stack will be also be given knowledge on this UI technologies like HTML in brief, CSS in brief, and JavaScript in brief, and also MySQL, right? Yes. Okay. One second. So so first Python, where Python core, Python advanced, Python application oriented models will be discussed. So nearly I'll be spending 70 hours on this Python, which takes nearly 2 months for this, right? And the fee structure for this is 6,000. So we'll be spending, it's not like a 45 hours course, it's like 70 hours. We'll be spending a lot of time with many working examples, with many assignments and tasks, right? Apart from this, people who choose like full stack, Python full stack web development, right? Yes. Django framework. First, web development will be discussed. Web development, UI technologies, right? UI technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, a part of Bootstrap, plus Django framework, where like 15 to 20 applications creations will be discussed. Yeah, you'll be doing these applications along with me parallelly. And apart from this, like REST API, plus project. For all this web development, Django framework, REST API, and this project, it takes 50 hours. We'll be spending on 50 hours for this. Okay, nearly takes 2 months. For this, the fee structure here will be given knowledge on this web development, Django, REST API, and project, right? The fee structure is 8K for this. So yes, totally 70 plus 50, 120 hours, 4 months for this full stack. Fee structure 8 and 14K. But if you are taking as total full stack web development package, and if you are doing like single payment, right? It's like 12K, right? Yes. For taking that full stack, and if you are doing a single payment, it's like 12K. So you'll be given knowledge on this Python, web development, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, Django, REST API, and project. And people who wants only Python, like Python core advanced and application oriented models, 30 topics in brief will be discussed, right? And what are the offerings from my side, right? Yes. So every day you'll be getting the video of it. You'll be getting the video of all this, right? Python, web development, HTML, CSS, Django, all these videos will be getting that day itself, class video. Means they are only readable, they are not downloadable, right? You can just play them. And classroom, soft copy of the notes, soft copy of the classroom notes, right? And assignments and tasks, right? And a WhatsApp group will be created for technical discussions, right? If you get any error during your practice, right? If you got any error, you can take a snap of it and post it in the WhatsApp, right? Anybody can answer, I'll be answering. Fine, okay. So, and if anyone like, if you doesn't want like 4 months, you cannot spend 4 months, right? So 2 months, so the classes most like Monday to Friday, it will be like Monday to Friday. Sometimes on Saturdays I'll be taking Monday to Friday, right? Like Python, you can go. And Saturdays and Sundays, they are weekend batches for this Django in this web development, right? Saturday and Sunday. Saturday 2 hours, Sunday 2 hours, right? Yes. So if you want to go parallelly, right? Because web development which doesn't require any Python knowledge, and Django introductions, web development, the architecture by the time we discuss this. So half of your Python course will be completed, right? So you can also go parallelly. So anytime once you get enrolled with this Python full stack, you can attend any of my Django batches, right? And I also deal with the big data analytics. I also deal with big data analytics, right? Big data, like where big data analytics, where I discussed like Hadoop, PySpark, Linux, and Python. So this is what total big data. So these four things will be covered. The fee structure is 15,000 for this, where Python 2 months course will be given. Python 2 months course will be provided in this, right? We are going with big data analytics, Hadoop, Spark with Python, PySpark. Very high speed processing technology used, which has got great boom today, and even use Linux, every implementation in Linux, and Python 2 months. Like it's a total. This Python will be from Monday to Friday, and this Hadoop, PySpark, and Linux will be on Saturdays and Sundays. So it's a weekend batch, Saturdays and Sundays. If anyone interested for this, on this coming Saturday at 5 p.m., right? There is a demo for this. 5 to 7, right? Okay. So any other queries related to this Python course, right? You can just go with your queries. Tomorrow also everyone can attend the session. So same time using
Sir,
the same,
sir,
just 1 second, I'll give time for your queries. So tomorrow also you can attend the session, same time using the same link to see more on this. It will be continuing from here. It's not duplication of today's session. So we'll be continuing what. So tomorrow my discussion will be like Python comparison with other programming, coding wise. You can check complexity wise, length wise, you can compare, right? Yes. Now, okay, you can go with your queries, right? Yes.
the timing, what is the timing of all full stack Python?
Okay, and one more thing, let me make clear of this Python timings, right? So before you go with the payments, let me make it clear about this Python timings. See, for the first 1 week or 10 days, for the first 1 week or 10 days, the timing of this Python batch will be at 5 a.m. But later after 1 week, it starts at 6 a.m., not at 5 a.m. It will be at 6 a.m.
Okay.
I'm making it clear about these timings, right? So for first 1 week, it will be at 5 a.m., but later it will be at 6 a.m., 6 to 7, right? Right, same 6 to 7.
But sir, timing fixed on morning batch also, no?
Morning only, 6 a.m. IST time.
Because I have a job in 10
Morning,
o'clock
yes, yes, yes.
morning.
Whatever
Yes,
it is,
sir.
6 a.m. It starts at morning only, 6 a.m. IST.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Okay, fine. Any other queries from anyone?
Yeah, if
Yes,
you
sir.
have to full stack developer, is the continuing course at 6 a.m. or Django, those things, your technologies?
So Python will be continued at 6 to 7, right? Python Monday to Friday. And most of these batches, Django batches, web development batches, Saturday and Sunday, right?
Okay, only weekend. Yeah.
Saturday and Sunday, you can attend any of my timings, right? Any batches which starts, right? And if any regular batch it's going, that also you can attend. If any regular batch starting during this
Sir,
weekdays, you can. Once you got
sir,
enrolled, you can attend any of my Django web development batch. But Python will be the
sir,
same timing, 6 to
Yeah,
7.
okay, got it. Thanks.
So what about
sir,
evening timing?
What is it?
Evening, what time it is? 7 p.m., right?
Yeah, if anyone doesn't, if it's not suitable 6 a.m., right? Today evening, there is one more Python batch starting at 7 p.m.
Okay, 7 p.m. So it will change or it is fixed?
So that is also for first 1 week, it will be at 7 p.m. After 1 week, it starts at 8 p.m.
Okay, okay, sir.
Yes.
sir, Django, I can read in morning batch also because in evening I have no time for
Yes,
study.
yes, yes, yes. You can, my multiple Django batches will be running. You can attend any of my batch of mornings or evening.
Hmm.
Okay,
Okay,
fine.
okay.
So what's the duration for big data analytics?
Yeah, yeah. Big data, right? Yes. So big data analytics, this Python I said, right? And for
Yeah,
this Hadoop, these are two courses will be discussed, right?
yeah.
Hadoop and PySpark. It is like 12 weekends. 12 vacancy types.
It will be like 3 months then.
3 months.
Yeah.
It's only on Saturdays and Sundays, right?
Okay. Okay. Yep. Thank
Okay,
you.
fine. Yeah.
So daily 1 hour class
Yeah,
will be done.
daily 1 hour, 6 to 7.
Okay.
Okay. So tomorrow and day after tomorrow also you can attend the sessions to see more on this, how this training goes. Fine. Any other queries, right? Anyone? Okay. So if I'm done with your queries, if there are no other queries, I'll sign off for now. Meet you tomorrow, same at 5 o'clock tomorrow. 5 o'clock. Using the same link, you can attend the session, right? Thank you all for your time. Thank you. Meet you tomorrow.
Sir, how can I pay payment?
So
Hello?
if you see the payment process, the things you can see in the chart, right? In the chart, you can see in the chart message, you got a big message. You got a big message, right? The contact details they have provided,
Yeah.
payment details they have provided, the bank account number through net banking or through Google Pay, all these things they have given the details, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, right? Fine.
Yes.